want to take him out of the character, but I did ask him how his skin was once, and he said,
Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and filmmaker Justin Baldoni has exploded into the public eye after a judge ordered a series of court filings unsealed, revealing private text messages and detailed allegations that had previously been kept under wraps. While none of the claims have been definitively proven in court, the newly public documents have fueled intense scrutiny, reshaping the narrative around a film project that once appeared to be a routine collaboration between major Hollywood players. At the center of the controversy is a creative and business disagreement tied to a film project in which multiple parties claim competing rights, influence, and reputational harm. According to the unsealed materials, Baldoni alleges that Lively and Reynolds engaged in a coordinated effort to undermine his professional standing during and after the production process. The filings describe private text exchanges that Baldoni's legal team argues were intended to discredit him with studio executives and industry partners, painting a picture of behind-the-scenes maneuvering far removed from the polished public image of a collaborative set. Lively and Reynolds, through their attorneys, strongly deny any wrongdoing. They maintain that their communications were taken out of context and that their actions were consistent with protecting their creative interests and contractual rights. Their legal filings emphasize that disagreements during film production are not unusual, especially when multiple producers and creative leads are involved, and that characterizing such disputes as a smear campaign is both inaccurate and unfair. The judge's decision to unseal the documents marked a turning point. Court observers note that judges typically keep sensitive filings sealed when disclosure could cause undue harm or prejudice the case. In this instance, however, the court determined that the public interest outweighed the arguments for continued confidentiality. As a result, private messages. Among the most talked about elements of the unsealed materials are text messages that Baldoni's team claims demonstrate an effort to marginalize him creatively and professionally. The messages, while open to interpretation, show frank discussions about strategy, concerns over creative direction, and frustrations with the production process. Baldoni argues that these exchanges crossed a line, shifting from standard industry conflict into intentional reputational harm. Lively and Reynolds counter that the messages reflect nothing more than candid conversations common in high-pressure creative environments. Their attorneys argue that isolating select phrases without the broader context creates a misleading narrative, one that ignores months of collaboration and negotiation. They also stress that no court has ruled that any messages constitute defamation or misconduct. Another explosive allegation in the unsealed filings involves claims that elements of the film were taken or reworked without proper authorization. Baldoni asserts that aspects of the project he helped develop were used in ways that sidelined his role or diminished his creative credit. His legal team frames this as a breach of agreement and a misuse of intellectual property. In response, Lively and Reynolds dispute the characterization of these events. They argue that all changes and decisions were made within the scope of contractual rights and standard industry practices. According to their filings, creative evolution is inherent to filmmaking, and no single party can claim exclusive ownership over ideas that were collaboratively developed. The public reaction has been swift and polarized. Supporters of Baldoni argue that the unsealed documents validate long-standing concerns about power imbalances in Hollywood, where established stars can allegedly exert outsized influence over projects and narratives. Others caution against drawing conclusions from unproven allegations, emphasizing that high profile. For Lively and Reynolds, the situation represents a rare reputational challenge. Known for carefully curated public images and philanthropic endeavors, the couple now finds themselves navigating a narrative they do not control. Their legal team has signaled confidence that the case will ultimately resolve in their favor, reiterating that allegations are not facts and that the legal process exists to separate the two. Baldoni, meanwhile, has framed his claims as a stand for professional integrity. In statements made through his attorneys, he has emphasized the importance of transparency and accountability, particularly in collaborative industries where credit and reputation can shape careers. He maintains that his goal is not sensationalism, but a fair acknowledgement of his contributions and the harm he believes he suffered. As the case moves forward, additional motions, potential depositions, and possible settlement discussions are expected. Industry insiders note that many disputes of this nature resolve quietly before trial, though the unsealing of documents can complicate private negotiations by intensifying public pressure. For now, the unsealed filings have transformed a behind-the-scenes disagreement into a public spectacle, raising broader questions about power, communication, and accountability in Hollywood. While headlines may suggest dramatic winners and losers, the legal reality remains far more nuanced. Until a judge or jury weighs the evidence and issues a ruling, the claims against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, as well as their defenses, remain allegations, contested, complex, and very much unresolved. What is clear is that the case has already left a mark, not only on the individuals involved, but on an industry increasingly forced to reckon with how private conflicts can become public narratives overnight. Whether the dispute ends in vindication, compromise, or continued litigation, it serves as a reminder that in Hollywood,